For the final time, let's go over one more video that has decided to try and call me out based on false or out of context evidence. This video is once again obviously by Sen, who I've made 2 videos on, so if you'd like to know how much of a liar he is, how he's a transphobe and a racist, you can go watch those videos because they go in depth on all of those things. But today I'm just going to sit down and for the final time, hopefully because I shouldn't have to be proven guilty until innocent from now on, I'm going to take the final time to prove how Sen's points are completely dogshit and how he's trying to use the justification that I can't respond because he's right and that I'm coping because I didn't want to make a video because I believe that it's bullshit to believe that because you had the final statement you won. But I decided, you know what, I'll oblige you. I'll go through and show why you're a terrible content creator that does no research, that takes screenshots out of context to try and win, and how you are prison mate Luke too. I hope that everybody out here knows just how much of a fucking liar you are. So let's get right into it.
The rest of this thread is really just pretentious level bullshit that screams rules for thee but not for me, which Harley and his fans like to pull over others.
So, the off-brand half-baked Rev says Desu decided to make the point that because other people have said that the discrimination or harassment they saw me receive was unacceptable, you're using that as petty surface-level bullshit and trying to say that that is in relation to your situation at all because you remove all context from it, the context that I've been stalked for months, the context that I have had my friends doxxed and their lives threatened. You decided to remove all of that context and just make the context people are defending me for no reason, or making posts about me. My fans are making posts to defend me against criticism or petty bullshit. I have no idea what your point here is, but it's fucking stupid.
Since he decided it was in his best interest to side with his Chilean friend, the second thing I have a problem with in this is the stupidity of the statement / defense of he's a minor that will make mistakes and that he will learn from them. This is so dumb, mostly because this is a perfect point to be made for why Harley shouldn't be handling serious allegations.
Sen once again decides to pull a prison mate Luke and claim the screenshot says something when it really doesn't. The screenshot on screen is from Pixie where she's talking about me being doxxed and saying that doxing a minor is unacceptable and misgendering someone is disheartening. There is no point there where Pixie uses the age card to negate criticism. Pixie is talking about the harassment I've received, like doxing, and how a minor shouldn't have to experience that. Your point is fucking stupid, Sen, because you did no research and you're just running with whatever you can because you want to claim whatever little scraps of your reputation back that you can. It's fucking pathetic. You also decide to use other people's words as points against me and make it seem like those are the words I said by association, which is fucking stupid. I never once have hid behind my age, and I stated in my last video that despite being young, I do take criticism and I'm happy to listen to it, and if you believe I've done something wrong, I will hold myself accountable for that, which I have done in the past and will continue to do.
Like, when you handle serious allegations, you can't exactly say, oops, it was a mistake that I got your ages wrong and called you a groomer when technically you aren't one and I made it look so much worse. But anyway, the point is you can't be making this defense for him because by doing so you validate the fact that this kid is not fit to handle these topics.
Okay, this is hilariously confusing point because I've never done anything like this. I've only ever messed up one serious allegation, that was the paracynical situation, and I learned from it. A lot of people in the community held me accountable because it was a fucking mistake from me. I decided to make a statement, a final statement, without all of the information or the other side's response coming out, which was stupid of me. Now, I cover situations by being neutral the whole way through, by saying everything is allegations, and not making conclusive claims against anyone without prefacing them by the fact that if new information comes out, I will adjust them, and that people should do their own research before making claims, and that these claims are my own opinion and not fact. This is an outlandish representation of my content, Sen, because it's clear that you want to misinterpret me and give me the most disingenuous interpretation you possibly can, while making me look to be the most evil person that's going to hide behind my age if I mess up a serious allegation, when I've never done that in the past.
Because he may very well fuck things up intentionally or unintentionally.
I'd also like to take this moment here to mention the fact that multiple times during this video, Sen intentionally misgenders me and calls me he when he knows my pronouns, which is incredibly disrespectful on its own, but obviously he's a transphobe, so it should be expected, and when people corrected my pronouns to him, he re-corrected them with the wrong pronouns. That is the most fucking transphobic thing. And the fact I see people from his audience in my comments like, no, Sen isn't transphobic. He just said that you didn't know your identity, which again would be transphobic. But he's also actively misgendering me. He is a transphobe. There isn't a way to hide behind this. There isn't an excuse for this. He corrects people on my pronouns.
And when you fuck up even the smallest bit of information in a serious allegation, that could be the determining factor in whether or not somebody is branded as something for the rest of their life based off of your stupid little mistake that you'll try to downplay.
How did Sen manage to make a statement that perfectly describes his own video and how he's going to proceed following it?
Okay, so y'all remember that video I made like 2 days ago talking about Harley and how he made a misconception about me, like how I mocked his grooming? Yeah, so I made a tweet adding him so he could see that video, and he responded with this tweet that I'm gonna put on the screen right now, which is it's basically just him deflecting literally everything I said, basically saying I did not mock your grooming, and he basically just said, okay, well, in my opinion, this is mocking my grooming, so nothing you said matters. And what's even funnier about this tweet, this reply, is that if you actually look at the reply that he sent that said that's basically mocking his grooming, you can actually see me explaining exactly what the freak the point is. Yet he still tried to push that as me mocking his grooming in his opinion.
So the whole point of the dude that Sen just dragged on was to emphasize the fact that he said that he wasn't mocking my grooming. I provided screenshots showing that he was, and then he's now trying to die on that hill claiming, no, I didn't. Your proof is, like, invalid because I provided counter-evidence that's now negated by your proof. Anyway, Sen's point is completely invalidated here because someone else made a video that went through exactly why this person was mocking my grooming, and they did a great job. So I'll just play their video now and credit them.
Hey guys, so I wanted to get this out of the way real quick because number one, it's really late. Number two, Twitter's video compression is bullshit. And number three, I want to prevent this situation from getting out of control. So for those who don't know, recently my friend Yumi Vera, or Envirion, made some accusations against HarleyTBS saying that they used their experience for profit. This is an extremely bad take, as this is Harley's own experience. They can do what they please when talking about it. Harley was criticizing YouTuber PrisonMate Luke for using other people's stories without their consent. Those are two different things. It is completely different to use your own story and someone else's story. The other thing is that Vera made not one but two videos discussing the situation. One mentioning where Harley brought him up in one of the videos that they made, and the second one being that Harley made quote-unquote false accusations against Vera, saying that he mocked their experience. Honestly, Vera, the way you worded the original tweet, it really did look like you were mocking Harley's experience. I don't care if you disagree with me on this or not. Your wording was so bad, it makes you look like you are practically mocking this kid. Another thing is that you wrongfully accused Harley for playing the victim when they rightfully called you out for this really bad take of yours. In the end, Vera, you really need to leave Harley alone. They go through enough as it is. Anyways, I just wanted to get my statement on this situation up. Thank you for listening.
Not only that, but after this point was brought up against Environ actually responded by saying that actually it did look like they were mocking me, and that they acknowledge that now, and also that they took it the wrong way, that it wasn't their intention to do that, and that they apologize. Once again, this person has apologized to me twice for both of the videos they've made on me, Sen. Stop using them as a source.
Harley made a stunning and brave response to me after giving me a fantastic ultimatum. That being, I take down my videos on him, and he would take down the one video he made on me. Or he'd make a second video on me, painting me in essentially the worst light possible.
I see what Sen's plan is here. He's not going to address any of the points I made in the video. He's not going to show the video. He's instead just going to state different allegations against me because he believes that by responding to criticism with criticism, it will negate my points, which is the two-quote fallacy that PrisonMate Luke was called out for using. Again, Sen is quite literally becoming PrisonMate Luke, the person he was so fervently against in the past.
I didn't accept option A for two reasons. The first one being because since I made my videos, people have surprisingly been happy in more ways than one. People that have been afraid of being targeted by Harley and his horde of confused rainbow stripes suddenly felt some relief knowing that I was willing to take the brunt of that abuse, and holy crap, I have. The second reason as to why I didn't take option A for Harley is because Harley had already damaged my reputation anyway, and most likely continue to do so, gossiping like a woman in Discord servers like he tends to do, or in his safe spaces, so what did it really matter?
So basically, Sen got called out, I gave him the ultimatum where we could simply end this drama peacefully because we both made our points, and we could just literally step away from it with no issue, and Sen decided instead, because he couldn't take the fact that he'd been bested in an argument, to die on the hill while constantly making more excuses and decided to drag up more videos. Also, in our DMs, Sen basically makes it seem like he just wanted to see what I had to say, so I feel like he's made the excuses now to look like he's more like cool, like he planned this all out.
Now that that's out of the way, here's the breakdown. Here's the dealio. I'm going to be addressing all of Harley's points after foolishly torturing myself and giving him some much undeserved watch time by sitting through his shitstorm of a self-projection and fuck-ups.
So he's opted to not show my video, but instead just state what I said so that he can misinterpret everything I've said, try and take the most generous interpretation of himself based on the evidence, and try and make himself look better by lying straight into his audience's faces. Okay, gotcha.
I've narrowed down the core points. Alrighto, let's get right into it, gamer.
Harley sort of reminds me of Repzilla when it comes to being dishonest. Harley grandstands on mostly all of his social media platforms, and there's just one thing that I don't like more than someone who grandstands. It's a dishonest person. You set up this image of yourself that you really care about something, when in reality, you don't. I don't have to pretend that I care about something when I don't actually, because I'm not dishonest. Again, the comparison to Repzilla, who's been added for being a dishonest hack over the past 2 days, but let's move on.
Where was the proof? He just claims that I don't care about the stories I cover. Clearly I do. You can very clearly see in all of my content that I'm emotionally invested. I wouldn't put this much time into these situations if I didn't. I'm baffled by the fact that I'm now called a dishonest hack with absolutely no evidence at all. You can't just state something and then it just becomes fact because someone said it. That's not how fact works. You show sources, you show proof, you show evidence, but I get that this guy that made this video is probably a newbie to YouTube, trying to learn how to make a video calling someone out, and he made a bunch of mistakes. I'm not really going to bash him too much. Sen, on the other hand, has been doing this for years, so I can call out how stupid it is that he'd use the source of someone that shows no evidence as fact and try and run with it like it's proof of anything, which he does it multiple times during this video. He just shows a tweet where someone says something and then goes, okay, they said it, so it has to be true. So basically, he's going to use anything he can to try and smear my name.
Copyright and fair use. Harley spends a large majority of his video trying to validate his fair use claim and his right to strike videos. There are several things wrong with this, the biggest being that not even 24 hours into dropping this masterpiece, he immediately cucked in a corner and bowed down to John Swan.
Yes, queen!
As well as other individuals giving him shit on Twitter. Oh boy, Harley, however did you fuck this up? Well, let's start from the top. Here we have Harley admitting to his line.
My strike, although I got the time and length of his video wrong, I got the time and length of his video wrong, I got the time and length of his video wrong, I got the time and length. Sen, what I'm stating there is I got the time and length of your video wrong in my video that I made about you, not in the strike.
Harley doesn't even care about the truth. He only cares about throwing shit on the wall and seeing what sticks, then running with it at least until he's backed into a corner.
The irony.
Today we are talking about a rising YouTube channel that is gaining subs very quickly. Their name is HarleyTBS. Harley, he's gaining subs very quickly. He's on like 35,000 as I'm recording this, and he'll probably be on like 40,000 when I'm uploaded this. And I do not know why. He makes some of the most boring and hypocritical content I have watched. Harley is a commentary channel like me, and you know how commentators, they usually try to cover different people. They don't cover the same two people. Well, Harley, he covers the same two people and no one else.
I like how that clip could be summed up to, hey guys, this person made multiple videos on the same person, so their point is invalidated. And then we look at the fact that Sen has made 3 videos on me now, and we go, wait a minute, I see a problem there. Sorry, 4 if you count his stream. Wait, I see a flaw in this. I see a flaw in this argument. And then we look at the fact that they claim that I only make videos on 2 people, and then we look at all of my content and we go, wait a minute, I see a flaw here.
The time differentiation makes a huge difference in this scenario as well. 7-minute video of his content, of course, there are going to be minds that are immediately going to think that it would be content theft, as Harley put it. And that's what Harley banked on like the Weasley little coward that he is.
Ignoring the fact that I completely corrected the statement he's trying to call out here in my follow-up video where I explained the fact that I did get the time wrong and I actually apologize for that, we'll completely push that out of the way. Whether the video was longer or shorter means absolutely nothing, because compilations aren't fair use. Using anyone's content in a compilation isn't fair use.
Anyway, after Harley admits to lying about me, he quickly transitions into his justification of fair use. It's also worth noting, funny enough, some of Harley's own backers said shit like this, that they very much think compilations would fall under fair use, having them even go as far as to reference the Bo Blacks incident a while back, and that's where shit gets spicy and we take a little detour.
If your wife kill yourself, if I see you walking down the street and you're white, I'll bring up a gun, call it self-defense, police will shoot me, I'll be on the news and be praised.
Now, Bo Blacks is a YouTube commentary channel most notable for his Twitter Versus videos. However, his second account, Bo Blacks Beta, is or was an archive channel. An archive channel that has the purpose of re-uploading an old deleted video of a YouTuber as to make it still accessible for everybody else, since said YouTuber doesn't have it up on his channel after choosing to delete it or having it unfortunately taken down by YouTube itself. Archiving falls under fair use.
There's a difference between the situation with Bo Blacks and the situation with me. Archiving only falls under fair use if the content isn't accessible anywhere on the internet, and even then it's a grey area. However, I've still made that content accessible on my channel and now on my third channel, so it wouldn't be archiving it, it would be a re-upload of pre-existing content that is on my channel, and as such I have the right to take down that content. The fact that you're trying to use this against me as a point is ignorant, because again, it wouldn't refer to your situation at all, because your video was literally a compilation of my footage, and the other video you're trying to use as a source was an archive, whether it's fair or not, that I actually removed my strike on because I realized that it wasn't morally acceptable in the commentary community to take down archives, whether the content is accessible or not. The point that people made against me was that whether it's legally in my right, which Johnson said it was, whether it's legally within my right to take down that content, from a moral standpoint, it shouldn't be in a community that's all about criticizing people for their mistakes, and I acknowledge that.
He strikes first, then waits for the individual to reach out. Harley says that he retracts the strikes if the person talks to him, but guess what, dipshit? Much like what you did with your first video on me and pushing Kai's videos and his narratives, the damage had already been done.
Send here is trying to make it seem like it's my fault if someone else re-uploads my copyrighted content, and it's on me to contact someone that's re-uploading my copyrighted content. No, if someone re-uploads my copyrighted content onto YouTube, I'm within my right to take down the re-uploads of my content. There is no kind of excuse for that. You can't go, oh, well, it's on you to contact the person that is actively using your footage. If they want to use my footage, they contact me ahead of time and ask to use it.
After making this comment a lie, by the way, go figure, here are the receipts to show you real quick that he was lying once again.
Sen, do you know what endorsement means? Endorse means declare one's public approval or support of. When did I publicly state that? Those were in private DMs with you, which is not approval because it's not public.
Sure, Harley got to ratio me after playing victim, making a spectacle where he got some random weirdos taking his side and trying to poison the well by saying I was slandering Harley or something, as well as making @everyone's on his Discord server to rally the alphabet people against me.
Wait. Let me get this straight. Sen shows 2 tweets where he calls me a dog fucker with absolutely no clarification that it was satire or not true, and then proceeds to say that isn't slandering me? Is he fucking serious? He thinks that he can just go around labeling people things they aren't in situations where he's already in public drama trying to expose this person for something, and then afterwards he shows the fact that I mock him in my Discord server, and he's like, look guys, this is a gotcha because he mentioned it in his server. Who fucking cares, dude? Get a life.
Now, what do we have here? What do we have here, San? Well, I'll tell you what we have here. In this tweet, we have an individual by the name of Yale tagging Harley on Twitter to voice his concern about Harley striking his archive of the infamous Lolly video Harley has been trying to keep hidden for, well, let's say, in the time of recording this video, the past 3 weeks now.
Okay, Sen, so when I left a Google link where anyone can download it in the description to my response to you, or when I re-uploaded it to my third channel for anyone to see it, did you see that I was hiding it in any way from people's eyes? I took down a re-upload of my content that was already publicly available on multiple different platforms on my channel. Also, Sen just sees that this person said the strike was legal, highlights it, and goes, because they said it was legal, it means it is. That's not how it works, Sen.
John is still an intelligent individual that knows his stuff in the legal game as well as the commentary game. He clarifies that this is not a false strike, since Harley did own the content, but it was a scummy strike that goes against the spirit of commentary. Keep in mind that this changes later on due to unraveled developments on Harley's end.
No, Sen, it doesn't change. This was always going to be a fair strike, but it was scummy in the eyes of John Swan, and I do agree, which is why I removed the strike.
Anyway, Harley then in true Harley fashion shows up and does all the damage control he can muster in his little fursuit and downplays his actions, much like he often does. Keep your attention on this bit, by the way, as it plays a big part as well in what's about to happen and shows you how Harley plays these shitty little games that allow him to get away unscathed most of the time. But here, he is unfortunately caught and unfortunately is not able to weasel away from the Grand Swan.
Yes, Queen!
As Harley continuously pathetically stands by his flawed claim, Yale points out the Boblax incident from a while back.
People were re-uploading the Black Lives Matter song, and I was like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this being up and readily available for people to watch, so I just copyright striked it because it's mine. That's it.
I'm not gonna make this a big deal, but I'm just gonna put it on the record. That was kind of a dumb move.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Dude, this is why I didn't want to respond to it. I told you last stream when this was brought up to not bring it up. I literally
Bullshit, you did. You bullshit. You said that.
I did. I told you to not bring it up. You asked.
Your apology in an hour and 45 minutes.
No, that's not an apology. There's no apology. There's explanation. Let me speak.
If you guys are in the commentary community, you know of this, but it was basically Boblax striking down a re-upload of his BLM song that was re-uploaded with the purpose of being an archive, and given how Boblax himself has archived videos, it was a pretty hypocritical move and bad optics. Boblax retracted his claim, and in his defense, he was not sober while making that impulsive decision. However, Harley, on the other hand, is very much sober and aware of his scummy actions, which makes this so much.
See, you highlight the difference, and then you pretend to ignore the difference. The difference is that Boblax is an archive channel that took down an archive of content, which obviously goes against the spirit of his archive channel, and at the exact same time, Boblax was taking down something because he didn't want people to see it. The difference is that I was just taking down re-uploads of my content. It's all about the motive behind taking down content, and even at the same time, as I stated, I retracted the strike because I believed that it went against the spirit of commentary, and as such, I removed the strike. John made a fair point, whether he made it because he has malicious intentions, because John doesn't like me, or not.
Harley then goes on to provide a link. However, the link he posted was not a link to his lolly video. Before my call out video, Harley had never bothered to re-upload his lolly video. Therefore, it was a video that would very much have been appreciated by others as an archive re-upload.
Two lies in one. Sen states it doesn't link to the video. Yes, it did. It linked to an unlisted version of the video. Lie 2. Sen states that this wasn't available and that a bunch of people would have loved to see an archive. At the same time, as I mentioned, I linked it publicly in my video replying to you, where I allowed anyone to download it if they wanted access to it. I just took it down because it was a re-upload of my content. He
eventually concedes that he's full of shit and makes the video actually publicly accessible on his channel, all the while trying to hide behind this "I didn't know woo persona."
Sen, I learned. John explained to me why he believed that it was unfair of me to take down a video because it went against the morals of commentary. And I went, fair enough, I've made it publicly available again. I didn't realize that I needed to make it publicly available. I don't know why you're trying to twist this to be something it isn't.
Harley will run with something, and as soon as he's caught or realizes that he's fucked and that none of his friends can save him, he bows down immediately and goes from playing the responsible British young adult capable of handling serious allegation cases to the clueless furry minor that knows nothing about the world.
Sen Twist My Words, volume 455. I never once stated that I was a minor, played behind the minor card, or anything to that degree, and I recognized that I made a mistake, and as such I learned from it and reinstated the video. I don't get why you try and turn my words so much to make it seem like I'm some manipulator mastermind and not just a human that can make mistakes.
So there it is, gamers. We all got to witness live how little Harley actually knows about fair use, and once again how incompetent he is when it comes to serious matters.
Hey guys, new lesson from Sen drops. If you ever hold yourself accountable for a mistake, you are a terrible liar that is manipulating everyone. And also, Sen twists this from being something about morals to being about fair use so that he can try and justify his video more than it actually was. Your video was a compilation of my content and other people's without any consent and without proper crediting. None of us wanted our content there, and two of us in particular had spoke to each other about how our content shouldn't have been used in this video. You're trying to defend yourself by making another situation that isn't about you, doesn't relate to you, and in no way correlates to the situation, something that does correlate to your situation, by twisting it from being a moral issue in that situation to a fair use issue so that you can try and grandstand and make it seem like you actually know what you're talking about to any degree. My strike on you was fair, my strike on them was fair. The reason that it was different in their situation was because that morally it was wrong of me to take down something that was used to archive a statement I'd made in the past. In your situation, you were just re-uploading one of my videos, but with only segments of it, so that you could try and use it for free content and free views, while you were a channel that was like 3 times my size.
The thing with the Lolly video and Harley's take, which has been only a year since he made it, is that he claimed in the video that the reason you should take him seriously is because he was informed and did a lot of the research on this topic, only for him to go back on this statement when he got pushback. His past came back to haunt him, and then the original statement contradicted what he had originally said in his video.
Sen, I already responded to this whole point in my previous video where I explained the fact that, yeah, I didn't actually do much research. I saw one video from the Anime Man, which got taken down, I believe, where they said that increasing availability of lolly content was contributing to decreasing amounts of pedophilia in Japan. I saw that, and in my fucking stupid baby brain, I went, okay, that must be true. I believe that, yes, that is how it works. If that's the case, then surely, even though lolly porn is disgusting, which I state multiple times during the video, it does have some sort of benefit, which is a reason why it isn't illegal in most countries. However, I realized, like, in the day that video came out, when people started bringing it up to me and mentioning the fact that this is a wrong point, that the actual research doesn't show the same point I'm showing, and highlighted to me how I was making a mistake with this video, I realized the fact that, you know what, maybe people are making a fair point. Maybe I should look into this more. And then I looked into this more, and my point was wrong. I learned that. I've already addressed this. I didn't do the research like I stated, because obviously I made a fucking huge mistake because I didn't do proper research, because I trusted another person's video without doing my own research, which is something I don't do anymore, but you do all the time, as you recognized when you said that you regurgitate and parrot the points that people made against Cosmodor without doing your own research. You are someone that could still make that exact same mistake. I'm not. That's the difference.
Again, by this point, you, unless you're a delusional individual, have to concede Harley just makes things up as he goes and lies to make himself look better depending on the situation.
Daddy Sen provides absolutely no proof that this is actually the case, and runs with this sort of claim without showing any actual justification behind it, believing that because he showed proof that can, again, be refuted, like I already said in my original community post, which is why I said I wasn't going to make this video, because every point could be rebutted by my whole Discord server. Now I'm here, again, sat here, pointing out the fact that fucking Sen Daddy has no idea what he's talking about, and will continue just claiming whatever works for his narrative.
So Harley misled people that would stumble upon his lolly take just because he wanted to quote-unquote sound cool.
Coming from the dude that called me a dog fucker.
Let me ask you, Harley, how many times have you done that since then?
None, and you should probably focus on doing your own research before you come at other people for not doing their research. Also, ever since that situation, I learned from it, Sen. That's what learning is, Sen. You get taught a lesson and you learn from it.
This is the person that's being enabled by a bunch of confused Tumblr Twitter users into thinking he's never wrong and always a fucking victim.
You know what? I'll just leave that statement for what it is. Do you feel proud of yourself, Sen?
I've seen some people go around and say because of Harley's lolly take, he's a peed. I don't think that's the case, nor do I think that's a good argument to make. However, Harley is a massive hypocrite considering he's calling me a lolicon when the screenshots in question never once allude to me getting off to any of those photos.
Sen, I appreciate that you don't call me a predator, because obviously I'm fucking not. But at the exact same time, those messages that we're talking about here are messages where you were sexting someone and they were posting these images and you were quite literally never mentioning anything about them. You quite literally got off to those images. I don't care what you say, you were getting off on that chat while they were posting those images without ever once stopping and going, what the fuck?
Gulp. Taking our clothes off and getting underneath the sheet while I press my chest up against your body. My tiny body. You have any objections? Okay, if Sen wants kitty naked. Nah, you're actually cute. Thanks, master. Now get on your knees and suck my... now? Yes. Gets down on her knees, unzipping his jeans, licking the shoves my into your mouth and starts bobbing your head back and forth, trying not to cough, pulls it out for a second and tells you to lick the and
Damn, Master Sen. I didn't know you wouldn't complain when there's an image posted of complete nudity with the word lolly written next to it, but who am I to judge?
Now, this isn't Shadman's levels of realism. We're talking about moe blobs. I did once make a video regarding this very same subject, and I got some really interesting replies, some of which confirm my suspicions, and that is that the word lolly isn't always used in its literal sense. Go figure. What that means, friends, is that when some weebs think of the word lolly, they don't think of your Google definition, but rather a petite moe-looking bitch.
I'll be completely honest, I have no idea how that defends this.
Sen wants kitty naked. Sen wants kitty naked. Sen wants kitty naked.
He also made a song called Anime Hose, where one of his epic bars is literally saying that he's getting head from this thing. Do you see the hypocrisy here? Please tell me you do. Now I know the epic defense right off the bat is, oh, it's clearly a meme song. That's gonna be the epic defense. Oh my god, Sen is using... Wait, no, let me use my Harley voice real quick. Sen is using a meme song to slander me. I'm being slandered. I'm being called a lolicon by Sen, and I'm being slandered.
Sen, I know you're trying to use this as a gotcha moment, but I'm going to highlight a few things. Firstly, if you look at the description of that song, it quite literally says it's a meme song, just like the album it comes from called Simp, where it also says that it's a joke album with joke songs. The album was never intended to be serious by any degree, and I found the lyric funny, so I thought I'd interject it. There's also a lyric earlier in the song where I say that you shouldn't lewd lollies, so the whole point is that it's like a polar opposite, and it's supposed to be like a fucking song that's mocking itself, and clearly you didn't get the memo, obviously, because you decided to just take away all the context from it and go, look, HarleyTBS is saying that he's into this, but again, that character was even overage, so it wouldn't have even mattered anyway. I don't really get what the point was, but the whole fucking song was a parody. It was a joke, and it was a parody of other songs that exist on the market that make similar jokes, basically. It was satire. I know that you're going to be like, look, I told you we'd hide behind the satire defense. That's what it was. And then Sen also shows screenshots after, showing the fact that I'd played fucking lolly breathing sound effects, but he doesn't show the fact that right after I played fucking ear rape. The whole joke was that I was fucking trolling someone in VC. I was like, haha, this will be funny. And then right after I put on fucking blasting ear rape, because I was like, that would be funny. Sen doesn't understand it because Sen is cutting everything out of its context to try and fuck me over.
Yeah, I was there when Harley started playing those noises. He was doing that shit all night. We were just fucking around with the rhythm, and he played like ear rape at one point. The lolly moaning sounds was just a fucking joke. We were all laughing at it the entire time.
Just look past the Harley's fucking hypocrisy for a second. It's just a meme, guy. It's just a meme. Such a fucking meme.
It's got the word meme written next to it on the album. Sen, it was a meme. Comedy is dead. I think that's everything. I cannot be asked to cover any more of Sen's bullshit, so if Sen makes another video, please don't bother telling me about it. I don't care. I've got better shit to do than continue rebutting with this guy that's going to bring up more evidence, that has explanations and counterproof, and he's just going to cut it without the context. He's not going to show my statements about it, and then he's going to try and use it in a way that once again damages my reputation. I'm not going to bother with it. Don't bother bringing it up to me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and check out my other social media link down below. With that being said, I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Sen is a creep.
Sen wants kitty naked. Ooh woo.